Didn't hear it.
Oh.
Fuck you, Brad. Why are you
Fuck
always
you,
doing this to the
Nathan.
show?
And your stupid mustache.
Wow.
Fuck you and the mustache you rode in on.
A lot of people like to ride this mustache.
Is he still recording
Yeah,
the shit? Because
go
it needs
through
to
any
be
of that
on the
shit.
end of the
Oh,
podcast.
he said he was
yeah,
recording it.
He's recording.
This is great.
He's
Yeah, this is,
recording. He's
I'm
troubleshooting.
clicking this and it doesn't want to give me shit. So I got my speakers. The only other option I have is for it to come through the speakers, which has normally
Why
worked in
does
the past.
Brad
and all of a
have
sudden tonight,
Julius
it decides it
Caesar
doesn't
hair?
fucking work.
He does.
Fresh out the
Oh,
shower.
it does.
It's a mixer.
How do you pick up on that?
It looks like you should be
go
stabbed
disconnected
in the
to
back
device.
right now.
So let's see what we
It
got.
looks
Let's
like he's
try
bleeding from
this.
his nipples too, so maybe he is being stabbed from the back. It's like there's like 2 spots that look red to me on his tank top, right
Can't
there.
see it.
Just wait till he comes
Get out of
back.
here.
I mean, it
They
looks
got a
like
cat.
he's clanking horseshoes together or something.
Oh,
I've
Steve
got to get this to work some way.
Steve-O looks unimpressed with this.
That's
bedroom.
what Brad calls sex, clanking horseshoes.
Gross.
Got it in this time.
Ew. That's a ringer. Ew, gross.
Ugh.
This is not a parallel I want to make.
Oh, this is a verbal assault pre-show. It's perfect.
I guess that depends on your definition of perfect.
I was gonna say something and I forgot.
Okay.
Okay.
Brad's on the floor. Steve-O's looking over.
It's
Steve-O
looks concerned.
Dave, you look like you're in a dentist's office or like a waiting room of some sort.
It's very harsh
so
light.
white.
I
It's
do
so
like
white.
the even whiteness you got going on right
You
now.
look like an angel, in other words. You're surrounded by light.
What you do is you get some drywall behind you this time.
It does look like, yeah.
Set it up. Set it up.
no, it's just my screen. It's permanent. It's the setup's pretty nice.
Permanent screen.
Hey, Dave.
Mm.
How has work been without me? And Nathan, too.
The
usual?
Oh, wait, you're gone?
I mean, it's work.
All the pizzas look ugly. They all look terrible.
Ununiformed.
I'll be honest with you, Becca. Last night I looked up at the little screen that's got the driver ratings for like the stars that people give on internet orders and stuff.
Yeah.
I look up and I see like, oh, somebody's got like 3 5-stars. Somebody's got like 1 star. And then I see Becca, it's 17 5-stars. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's more. That's man. That's
They
a lot.
love me.
It's just
I'm so
Becca was just so good.
I've become a completely different person, I feel. And like when I'm on deliveries, I'm becoming the Dave, like the jumping around like a fucking leprechaun and bringing them their mail and telling them.
Where's your actual headphone jack?
I went in your mailbox and brought your mail to you. I know it's 5 o'clock.
No, that's your wait.
They actually say in
That's your
training, like if you see a package
This
on
is
the
your
doorstep,
headphone
bring it to them. I'm not.
Where is it on here then?
I'm not gonna pick up their fleshlight and bring it up to them. I'm not doing
I'm
that.
not gonna touch it
Their
either. But
package to them.
I say, hey, you get that package? You want to go ahead and
Not
get
from
that?
the
I'll stand here and wait while you put that away.
Yeah, you
So,
pointed
I-
pointed out to them.
Yeah, I pointed. I said, hey, look, I said your prime showed up.
Why don't you
Yeah.
just go a step further and ask
Oh,
them
now
to
you gotta
open it up
move.
in front of you and look at it?
What'd you
Tell you what they
get?
got. Yeah.
I couldn't help notice on the label, your real name's not the same as on
Can
the
you guys say-
ticket.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if my volume is going to fluctuate or not, but that's weird that it didn't fluctuate before because it turns out my headset was plugged into the mixer. That's what that thing's called.
Oh,
Oh.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you sound good so far.
Yeah, but I'm
hard to fluctuate.
sure fucking some stupid ass program on here is going to be like, all of a sudden, hey, you need to be really loud or you need to be
It's-
really quiet.
It's been a consistent level so far, so that's
Yeah.
that's a good
All right, let's
sign,
go.
though.
what are you
That's
guys-
weird that plugging.
What are you guys doing?
Are
Let's go.
you using a mixer?
It's weird that plugging the headphones directly into my motherboard, or the mic module directly into the motherboard, and then having the headphones now go into the motherboard is all of a sudden going to start to fluctuate around like a piece of shit.
Nathan's saying start the show.
Stop it!
Becca, you were talking about Brad's shirt, but I actually saw his nipple.
Turn it off.
Damn it!
Turn it off. All right. Wait, turn it back on. All right, we're back, baby.
Start it over.
Way too meta. I can't handle it.
It was supposed to end off with a talk about the nipples, and then Becca was supposed to say,
the nipple talk was long ago.
We already talked about nipples.
I'm supposed to say what about the percentage of?
Yeah,
okay.
About the percentage of nipples.
What the percentage of nipples that I see on a daily basis is going to rise significantly.
They're going to go as high as the rockets you're going to see when you move to Cocoa Beach, baby. Ba, 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 ba.
A week and 4 days. Yeah, I am so excited.
It's happening.
Wait, you have a whole week and 4 days?
Well,
where you're not working?
A week and 2 days, actually. Yeah.
A week and 2 days.
I know. Like, what's the holdup?
Going away party is Sunday, and you have a whole week.
I have other things to do besides just have one party. I have other people to
No,
see.
you don't.
Like what?
No, you don't.
I wrapped up all my loose ends real quick when I told them 13 days before we actually moved. Like, hey, I'm going with you.
Well, it's a little different for me.
Quit my job. That was kind of it.
I quit my job like
you gotta high five some flat earthers or something. What do you gotta do?
Then I asked my.
She's got to say goodbye to all of her masseuses.
Yeah, that will take time.
That'll take a lot of time.
90 minutes each, yeah.
But I just,
Let me pay you for your goodbye party.
I just have to ask myself why I have to get up early on Sunday to go to a goodbye party when you're not even leaving for a whole week. The party should be like the last thing.
That's what we did. We did the night before we moved, and then the next day with very minor hangovers, loaded all the shit in the truck and said, let's go.
And didn't leave town till like 11 o'clock at night.
Well, we timed that right. I mean, we didn't want to get stuck in Atlanta traffic and deal with all that bullshit.
Yeah. We thought we could make it the whole way. We did not.
Well, we thought we could. Kenny, don't listen to this no more.
I think we made it into Florida before we had to stop to sleep.
Tenny got tired.
I mean, I was tired too. I was not opposed.
Well, you were driving all our shit. So
I was
I'm
driving
okay with
the
you
big
saying,
truck,
hey, the guy's tired driving the big truck with all my shit on it. Hey, you want to sleep?
Hey.
So it's weird that I'm going to be here for another week after my party.
Yeah.
It's weird that you're not working that last week.
Especially when you could have already been here for the Falcon Heavy launch on Monday and then the Atlas V launch on Thursday. And then you will be here for the weird one the following Tuesday on the 2nd.
Well, one of the reasons I chose to stay through the last 2 weeks is because of friend's wedding shower that they have the last Saturday of the month. So, and also my dad's birthday is next week, and I wanted to stay for that too. So that's ultimately the reason why I waited the last 2 weeks before I'm actually.
What happens at a wedding shower?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what to wear to it. I don't know what to bring to it.
It's like
I've never heard of a wedding shower.
It's like a bukkake film in Germany.
It's like just in case
you can't.
Just in case some of you weren't gonna give us a gift for our wedding, we're gonna create this party so that you have to bring a gift because that's what showers are for.
That makes sense.
Shower me with gifts.
That's what a baby shower is. You're bringing shit for them to use for when the baby comes, right?
Here's some plates and spoons and knives.
Here's a toaster.
Yep.
Well, I already told him.
Oh shit, Steve-O, I forgot to send Joe his air fryer. Joe, sorry, dog.
Oh no!
I was supposed to be a part of that too. Remember, we talked about that for 5 seconds.
Shit.
Brad, I got to tell you, I saw him again for the first time.
He was like, that motherfucker never sent me an air fryer. That's what he said.
He said, I know I haven't seen you in like 2 years, but Brad did not send me the gift. He should have.
Oh, is that the dude that was at Dave's party?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to buy him a nicer air fryer. And a nice note that says, my bad, dog. Signed by 3 people.
Covers it for sure.
Love you, Joe.
It might. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll get a text a week from now, and he'll just be like, "No, man, that's cool. Tell Brad I said that's cool."
Damn it, Joe Call is the best human being I've
he,
ever met in my life.
After the one where we were talking about how me and Brad are idiots and we don't know what to do with a wedding invitation, like
it's our first wedding, dog. Leave us alone.
When he heard that, he did send me a text. He's like, man, you should know, man, it's not a big deal, bro. Yeah, but we still.
I want them to have an air fryer. I want them to have cheese sticks on demand, restaurant fresh. They deserve it.
Weddings are only a big deal to the woman in the one side of that, and then all the women on that side of that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, on that side of the aisle. Yeah. I mean,
I
think men are
we refused to sit down in seats because we knew what we were doing, but apparently that was completely cool.
Yeah, I think
just
most
like the
men
time
are,
I yelled, "Steve-O, do you want some of this vodka?" to try to create a distraction. Little did I know how great of a distraction it was.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think dudes are usually just looking forward to it all being over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not subtracting from their, I'm sure, excitement, and and I know that Joe was looking forward to marrying the love of his life, but I think if it were me, it would just be, let's get it over with. I'm ready for it to be over. But that's kind of me with anything like that.
Get the ceremony over and get down with the partying and the
debauchery.
Yeah.
And then the consummation.
The deflowering. Yeah. The deflowering of the virgin wife.
Yes.
Because that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
Most of us are, yeah.
Don't say that. You're moving to Florida. It's different here.
I missed that air horn.
You'll have real air horns at your wedding.
How's everybody doing this week?
Great. So great.
I'm doing okay. I want to get some shout outs out, like we're an R&B radio station in the early 90s, mid 2000s. I don't know. Anyway, shout out to Connor, Young Pete, fucking
J-Rock,
fucking that other guy that he likes so much.
No, I feel bad.
I guess
Monica and Carly. Monica and Carly. Happy birthday, Carly.
I might as well shout out to, I'll just say the Steves, because one of them we know who he is, but the other one I don't know if he wants me saying his last name. So he was excited about almost getting a shout out on one other show. I guess it was the one where he had called in, and I was like, yeah, I made money today because this person called into work. And
wow, we have so many people we're shouting out.
Nice. Shouting out. We got any shout outs? We already shouted out Joe Call.
There's people listening.
Shout out to Joe Call. Shout out to his wife, which we're not going to say her name, just to get her goose. Sorry, Joe, you got to deal with that.
Jax. That's what she goes by on the internet anyway.
Her name is Goose.
Her name's Goose. That's the Goose to the Tom Cruise.
That's right.
Maverick? Is that it?
Maverick, yep.
So I ended up I didn't tell you this, Brad. Don't be scared. I have rent. But I decided
straight,
to just,
baby. I got it for two months, baby.
After much deliberation with my new manager, trying to decide how to handle this coming week, I've taken the entire week off. And
bold move.
And
let me see how it works out for you.
Yeah,
a little reverse psychology on life.
Hey, don't worry, Steve-O, you can't make that rent. I'll just be swooping up that bedroom of yours, and you can just live in this one. And
just like I thought. Here it
I'm
goes.
pretty sure
It'll
Todd.
be about
Todd
once a week, once every other week. Brad will mention
too.
that he wants my room once a week or every other week.
This is the second time from the first time,
which
sir.
was about
don't
a week
you
ago.
Paint me? Don't you? By the way,
the bedroom stealer.
By the way, people want to hang out again, so be prepared for people, Steve-O. You need it, Steve-O. Look, this guy right here. I love him to death. He's not the most social animal anymore. He's become a recluse. All he wants to do is play golf and soccer with cars, which I respect. That's
golf.
fine. Yeah. We all got our things, but Steve-O, you're gonna get a bit of action in the apartment coming up.
Oh.
Steve-O, you need to get the dick wet. That's what he's saying.
I think that's what he's saying.
I
don't know.
That's not exactly what I'm saying. I was going to lead up to it. Thank you, Nathan. Well, let's just move to step 2.
Cut straight to it. Yeah.
Well, guess what? I'm happier than I've ever been with my dick nice and dry.
High and tight. And and drive.
That's
the
right.
gears are trying to turn, but they're just.
What?
I'm a hard time.
Brad doesn't
I'm
compute.
accomplishing life goals. What is
Brad
it?
doesn't
What is it that
compute.
I'm not doing?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not trying to get you to change. I'm not saying I'm not proud of you. Obviously, I'm proud of you. Motherfucker's on the pad. He can't bring VIPs, which I guess I'm second in line for, according to Steve-O's words the other night.
Oh, is there a girl
Ooh.
that's first in line on the
Oh, there's a girl, but it's a Disney princess.
Disney princess?
My favorite Disney princess too.
Ooh.
Getting that D-dub by that DP.
Yeah.
You remember that movie with what was the princess's name? Stephen Kegel.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, wait. I was like, Kegel was the one that jokingly asked if I could bring him with me, but
He's my Disney princess too. But your words were he asked me first, and I said, in my head I said fuck you, but in my I was like, all right, I guess all of a sudden you reveal this news, and all of a sudden your boy here wants to go on the pad.
But the joke is that you could be the first in line or the 100th in line, and it will not matter. No one gets to go.
Oh, that's the joke.
That's So anyway, I took the whole week off because rockets get scrubbed, and I was like, look, if Falcon Heavy gets scrubbed, then it's going to push back the Atlas V, which for the Atlas V, I'm in the ULA Social, so I got a 2-day thing going on with that, and she was like, well, you want to just take the whole week off? And I was like, well, can I? Is that going to hurt you guys somehow? Which I know it won't. We got a shitload of drivers. But, you know.
You took a week off to scrub a rocket?
Yeah, man. It's going to take a long time, bro.
A lot of elbow grease.
Shit's dirty.
Yes. You got to work. You got to start somewhere.
I mean, I'll probably end up working still, but that is the thing, is I've just marked off the schedule, and then I'll be Ubering, hardcore. I'll get to do some all-day Ubering on some of those days and just see what that's like.
What week is that? This coming week or the week after?
That's next week, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
3 days?
you're missing Launchapalooza.
That week you would have missed if you had just gone ahead and moved down there.
Just move right now. Who's gonna know?
I had other engagements that I had to take care of before I
Your
left.
daddy's birthday party. Okay, that's understandable. And then you what? You can't work that day.
She has half a dozen massages she has to schedule in.
No, I just spent $800 on my car. I'm not spending money on anything else.
$800. What a weird number around.
Nothing should cost $800 on your car.
There were 3 separate problems.
Oh no!
Yeah,
but you got that AC fix, I bet.
But listen, my car, when I drove it away today, it has never driven better. Not even when I first bought it.
Is it not doing that transmission thing? It was
Nope,
that hesitation
it's not.
thing.
Nope, they fixed it.
Well, that's
it's
good.
so smooth. Yeah, it is. It's incredible the difference, and I'm very excited
and that
about
AC blows cold.
Doesn't overheat.
Sweet.
It is.
That's
it's
a good
Florida
feeling.
ready.
Yeah, because it's been hotter than damn it.
Hotter than damn it.
It's hot as fuck down here. Straight up.
Look at Brad. He's sweating.
I'm sweating right now, and allegedly this air conditioned apartment is air conditioned. Poorly.
Allegedly.
Steve, I got a guy. Shout out to Connor. He's an AC guy. He told me our first problem was living on the beach, and I was like, well, I can't change that, so I don't really want to accept that as an answer.
Well,
that's how people in global warming.
But it's always a couple degrees cooler out here than it is over on the mainland. And
yeah, they got all that pavement and all that fucking reflective shit.
Well, right.
We got the air off the ocean, man. The air coming in.
I mean, in the summertime, it keeps it just a little bit cooler. In the wintertime, it keeps it just a little bit warmer. So I don't know about that one. But if he's an AC guy, he should get up on our roof and tell us.
I'm in negotiations with him.
I bet we could talk to John. Anyway, podcast listeners don't want to hear about our AC problems.
You want to hear about your repairs, your minor small machine repairs?
God, guys, you know what? If I were to tell you a problem, living on the beach and this air conditioning, oh God, let me tell you more about my first world problems. Man, sometimes my watch doesn't have, the name associated with the phone number, and I gotta text these people back, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's so hard.
It's a hard life.
So hard.
Brad be living a hard life.
It's true.
My
Yeah,
lights
it's
are
hard.
flickering. FYI, it's about to storm here, so if my
Uh-oh.
power goes out,
Really?
I'll see you guys
Yeah,
later.
same here.
Oh, I'm not
It's-
getting that.
Yeah, it's like sounds like it's over me right now.
Dave, are you
My
getting that?
cat's acting crazy.
No.
Me and Dave are on the same side of town. So.
And I'm on
Oh,
the same
you're-
side of town as Patrick.
That's right.
Don't
yeah.
let Monty be about. So.
Guys, I gotta tell
Shout out
you,
to Monty Beefhouse.
Shout out to Monty Bebout, R&B
Yeah.
radio station.
I have to tell you, I saw the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life last night.
I don't.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
boy.
When you hear it, you'll agree.
Okay.
I had a delivery, last one of the night. It was after midnight. Country road, out going 50 miles an hour, and I got my windows down, and I started to hear an engine coming up on me, engine noise, and I thought it was like a helicopter or airplane or something.
Yeah.
And then this motorcycle blasts by my window
With no
and
lights
goes
on?
goes around me, and I'm like, wait, I'm looking, and I do like I rub my eyes like a cartoon character, and I'm like, is that no? And I turn off my headlights a second to see this motherfucker had no headlights on.
What?
He had a tail light, but he had no headlights. This guy was going 65 or 70 on a country road with no headlights.
What's the moon
Nope.
doing?
No moon.
Talk about that moon, dog.
No moon. Later on the way back, I turned off my lights for a few seconds just to see what it would look like. I could barely see the line on the side, barely.
And then, of course, when he's coming up on you, you got your they're just taillights, but it's still going to blind him a little bit. His eyes are going to not be adjusted, and
I don't think he had a helmet on. He didn't have a helmet on. He went by so fast, it's hard for me to say.
he's living free, man.
And then there was a car way up in the distance. He got up to that car and just started tailgating them. I mean, riding their bumper. They probably didn't even know he was there.
Right.
Is he on a motorcycle?
On a motorcycle.
Oh,
That's
that's playing
safe.
fast and loose with the cards, baby.
It's crazy. And then, so I get back and I tell the other two people working, and the other dude working, Corey, who earlier had gone to another place. And before he went, this was like 45 minutes earlier, I knew the place he was going to. And I said, man, if we deliver to a fucking meth house, it's this place. Either they're doing meth or they're making meth.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, cuz, whatever. So like,
Shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Cuz.
He took delivery, came back, he didn't say anything. But after I told him this story, he was like, dude.
That sounds
When
right.
I was out there was a guy he was starting up a motorcycle, revving it up, getting ready. And this street was directly off of this road.
Oh man.
Directly off of it.
So is the guy probably, right?
The guys, they're just fucking going out of their minds on meth. He's jumping on a motorcycle with no fucking headlights, and he's just driving insane speeds in the dark.
The guy just got done watching the movie Torque, which is a terrible motorcycle movie with Ice Cube.
Yes.
And he wanted to be like him, is what it was.
Probably.
Don't you dare bring meth into this.
Once we're off the air, I'm going to need to know a little bit more about this because I'm so curious.
Becca, you're about to move through the beach. You're going to learn all the things you want to know about meth
And nipples.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
you get a whole different
truncated amount of time. You're
whole
gonna...
different brand of white trash.
Yes.
down
It's
there.
just what I've always wanted.
Oh! I saw Andy. The
From
long,
Toy Story?
Yeah, baby,
the
Andy.
long lost meth head. I was out Wasslin the other night, and I'm just
Give us, Steve-O, give us an initial rundown for people that don't
Andy.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first Andy story.
Well, I mean, he was never one of the weird ones that like tried to.
Wait, is this the guy that we met when we were down there?
Yeah, he had a bag
No.
full of shit.
He was like selling like seashells and shit.
Oh, shit, did they meet
Very,
Andy?
very likely him then.
Yeah, we met that dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Andy's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just likes
Right.
He does meth. We all have our own fucking vices.
Yeah.
He's
I don't
fucking out
judge.
there working, man.
Listen, as long as you're not driving out on the road,
You
at
don't have a
midnight,
car. You don't have a
with no
house.
headlights.
What the fuck? He
Yeah,
ain't
no,
doing
he's
that
got a-
shit.
he's got a
a bike
bicycle.
with a bunch of shit on it, which he figured out how to accrue, where he
Over
could take
time.
it with him
He's figuring shit out.
Let's lay the groundwork.
Yeah.
So
talk about Andy.
When we first moved here. When we first moved here, wassailing was begun within the first couple of months or whatever. And so one night we're out there wassailing, and there's this dude. He comes up to us, and he's trying to sell us seashells, and we're just kind of feigning.
That's not what he said first. His first initial words like, "Hey, dude, you're cool. Want to smoke a bowl?"
Oh, okay, yeah. And
he could just
maybe you remember it better. I just
What's
remember
the opposite of that's fight and talk?
You want to smoke a bowl?
Yeah, what's the opposite of like them's fighting words? What's the opposite of that?
So he ultimately he was trying to sell us these seashells that he found, but he had these little, like, they looked like seeds, but he called them hamburgers because they kind of vaguely resembled hamburgers. And he told us about how they came over from Africa. Like, they blew off some tree in Africa and floated all the way here. And my dumb ass tried to question him, like, how do you know that? He's like, yeah, that's all he said, yeah. He had a story for every little trinket that he had, and he was just trying to sell us some shit, And that night, we thought he was cool. This was the time, I think, that I was like, all right, Wassalin's awesome, because we meet some crazy fuckers, but... Andy wasn't trying to hurt us. He wasn't trying to steal from us.
He wasn't trying to suck your dick.
No,
he wasn't trying to steal my life away like the motherfucker that I thought was going to commit suicide. And I told Steve-O that. And Steve-O was like, well, I don't want his guy to commit suicide. And that's a story for a different podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep it together, Brad.
Let's hold off on the next shot here.
We need you here, brother.
Stab.
So we had a great time talking to Andy the first time, and as we were leaving, he shouts out, he's like, "Hey, let me get your phone number," and with my quick wit was like, "Oh man, I've got this rule, man. I don't give my phone number out to anybody that I just met on the beach. Like if we run into you a couple more times, maybe maybe
on the beach."
Yeah. And so anyway, we ended up running into him several times, and usually when we saw him out there, he had he pieced together like parts from, those canopies that people buy. They spend like $40-50 and set them up at the beach. And then the wind.
A straight up impressive setup.
I could describe it, or we could just leave it at that.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Not trying to accrue animosity. I'm just saying he had an impressive. His setup was impressive from my point of view.
It was very impressive. I was just trying to describe it for the listeners. Those canopies that you get, they're not very high quality. Usually by the end, if you're out there on the beach for a day, the wind is going to tear them apart, and it's not even going to be worth taking home with you. So he had pieced together one of those, and he would set that up every night, and he'd had these curtains that would go all the way around. He had like these lounge chairs that he'd set up, and like clotheslines, and he'd have shit hanging down, and like dream catchers and shit. And it seemed like he lived there all the time, but he would tear it down and put it back up every night, as far as we could tell. We weren't going out there every night, but there for like a month, almost every time we went out there, he would be out there with his whole setup, and it was very impressive. And we anytime we saw him, we'd be like, "Hey, Andy," and he'd just go, "What?" And then he's like, "Hey, man, do you remember us?" And then he kind of look at us like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay." And he always had his girlfriend there, and she was super fucked up, and he would tell us how she wanted to. Like she would bitch at him because she wanted him to get off the beach, man. We got to find a place.
She wanted a normal life.
Yeah,
it's not exactly what Andy's about.
Yeah, who are you with right now? My name's Andy.
She just wants a bath.
I sell seashells on the beach, and a lot of people think they can do it and just walk up in here because they heard a nursery rhyme. But I'll tell you, it's not as easy as it seems.
Each seashell needs a story.
Andy had some cool shit on him, man.
Yeah.
I thought about offering money for some of the cool shit. You remember that backpack he had where it's like a towel in a backpack? I was like, oh shit, I don't care, it's pink.
Oh, what? A towel in a... Like a backpack.
Yeah,
made
he had
out
a
of it?
backpack that had like the same fabric that a towel. Like, I have some shirt I only wear hurricane season where it's like a towel and a shirt.
Oh, okay. I think I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all vague memories. With him.
It really is, because it was so long, because we hadn't seen him in so long. All right, so every time I saw him, I was like, oh, cool, it's Andy. We'll go talk to him. Sometimes he didn't want to talk, and sometimes he wanted to talk your ear off. So, cut to a couple nights ago, I'm out Wasslin, and listen to my tunes, and I'm just. Oh, and by the way, the mosquitoes somehow found their way to the beach. I've never.
It's because of the rain. It's because of the rain.
Right.
We get 2 more days of no rain. Mosquitoes are gone, baby.
Yeah, it's true. But I've never been bothered by mosquitoes out on the beach since we've lived here. It's just not been a thing. So anyway, I'm having to walk. Usually I just stand in one spot, but I'm having to walk back and forth, between the typical Wasslin spots, and I'm walking, and I'm actually considering going home at this point. But I noticed that there's this. There's a trail from a sea turtle that had gone up onto the soft sand to lay her eggs. And right above that, I see some fucking meth head digging in the sand. Fucking going to town. Fucking it's the hole is not as deep as he is tall, but when he bends over, he's completely submerged in the hole. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, is this fucker digging up turtle eggs? And so, I'm looking.
Shit.
I'm looking, and I'm considering. I'm like, well, this guy might be fucking crazy. Did something just fall? What happened?
Storm's hitting, man. Hold on. You keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about Nathan and his impending doom.
So,
it's starting to pick up here too.
So I was contemplating, going over and talking to him, but then, I'm always like, well, you never know who, and if I confront somebody and they are trying to dig up sea turtle eggs, that's illegal, and they may react in a way that I'm not prepared to handle. But I go up there, and I get within shouting distance, and I'm like, "Hey, are you digging up turtle shells?" And then he looks up, and I said, "Andy?" He goes, "What?" I said, "Andy, Andy, what are you doing, man?" We're getting a phone call. What the hell is this?
Oh no! Wow, live phone call.
Is it Andy?
Somebody's been watching the show.
It's Andy.
Oh man, okay, get over here.
I bet it's somebody
Oh my
sexy.
God, here
in
he
chat.
goes.
Should we? Did you answer it?
I think it's safe to answer.
I can't even see where it's coming. Oh, there it is.
I can just
Incoming
answer it.
Call from.
Sure.
Okay. I sent the caller's voicemail. Goodbye.
Oh shit.
Congratulations,
they're gonna-
you made
Steve-
it, baby.
Steve-O's just not fast on the
I'm
trigger
just not
there.
fast enough. Well, because I've got to quickly cover up that half of the screen and then do all this other shit to be able to do it. But he's not gonna be able to hear us anyway unless he's watching Mixer.
He's
I
watching
think
Mixer.
they're watching
Trust me.
Mixer, yeah.
Could be.
Oh. Is he gonna try again?
Maybe, I don't know. You scared away.
I'm encouraging it only if you can be a little faster.
So
on
this-
that
Well,
trigger.
yeah, I'll leave it covered up.
This wind, this storm you're talking about, this wind is picking up, and my camper is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what my door was open. I had the screen door, but the main door was open, and it was slamming back and forth. That's what I had to jump up and
Wow.
close it. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be all right. you know.
Yeah.
That's a very Tennessee way of thinking.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. You know
It'll be
what?
all right.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's roll with the cards, baby.
If it rolls over,
Not
right
that that's how
side
you
up,
talk, but that's.
I don't have to do nothing.
I got encouraged by 2 tables to talk in a Southern accent, so I'm like,
Brad, that's how my DNA talks, about half of it anyway.
ain't no problem with it, man. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. You want me to talk with the Southern accent this whole
Hell, you-
podcast? I'll do it.
Tell you what. Hey, what happened with Andy?
All right, so I realized it's
about
Andy,
Andy.
and then I said, "Dude, you're not digging up sea turtle eggs, are you?" And he's like, "Nah, man, I'm digging up shells. You know me, I'm digging up shells." I was like, "Yeah, okay, I guess you got to dig deep because the tourists pick them up. Anything that's on the, on top of the sand is the tourists are gonna get." He's like, "Yeah, man," and he had this necklace that was really rare according to him. He's like, "Man, people offer me $150 for this," and I'm like, "Really? Like, why?" I said, "Why?" I said,
Why didn't
first of
you
all,
take the deal?
First of
Probably
all,
shiny,
why?
dog.
And second of all, why didn't you take it?
Yeah.
And he's
It's
like,
the
"Man,"
heart of the ocean.
it's like, "Do you know how rare this is?" I guess not, man. It doesn't look that valuable to me. But anyway, I was like, "Where you been?" He's like, "Oh man, I rode my bike up to Tallahassee, stayed there for a while, lived up by the beach up there, close to there, and I just rode my bike back." And
that sounds badass to me.
That's
like,
a long.
It is a long ride. That's a
fucking
long haul.
Effort. That's fucking doing it. That's like, oh, I'm gonna go here and fuck you.
And of course, you know, I said some shit that probably just sounds like what any fucking college age, you know, starry-eyed dreamer would say, like, "Man, I've always wanted to live like you, bro." You know?
That's so
He's
cheesy.
like, he's got fucking fleas crawling all over him.
That's right.
And you're like, "Oh, I just want to live
I
like
just want
you."
to do that, bro.
Yeah. His
It's
girlfriend.
like being a rock star, except on a different scale. It's like, yeah, rock stars have a pretty dope life, but I'm sure they have to deal with their sort of bullshit that comes with it.
It's like being a rock star, except you never bathe, you don't have a place to sleep,
Nobody wants to talk to you.
you don't get your dick sucked regularly.
I would disagree with that part because they're.
I don't
He's
know.
he's not selling drugs, he's selling seashells. It's not.
Nathan,
Yeah.
look at Street Trash and then Junkyard King.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Think
Yeah,
about
good
that.
point.
Yep.
Yeah,
Patrick
okay.
with the most deepest reflection of
Yeah.
shit.
That's right.
Nathan knows what I'm talking about.
Check yourself, lest you wreck yourself. I'll dumb it down.
Yeah. Patrick's got me on that one.
Yep.
Everybody go watch Street Trash.
Street Trash.
One of the greatest
Okay.
movies of all time.
Is that like bum
I'll
fights?
put it in that queue.
No, it's greater than Bum Fights.
Is it a Korean movie?
It's an American movie
No
from
way.
the 80s.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Is it?
There's the phone ringing again.
I want to get Patrick
Was that
talking,
Hungry?
man.
No, that wasn't.
Patrick's got the gems tonight, baby.
that was
Oh,
Patrick was talking a lot when we weren't actually recording.
yeah. I do have an article though.
Don't hide it
Yeah.
under your bush,
Like to
Patrick.
hear.
Let it
Yeah,
shine.
we can do that. I don't have it, but
Okay.
I don't necessarily need to.
No,
I
Cyril
just-
doesn't believe in
I didn't
articles.
send it. There's not a video for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
this
is some great local news.
Yeah. I keep hopping on and off because my cat's acting crazy because of the storm. Yeah.
Give it a little
Keeps-
bit of meth.
Alright. No, I can't give my cat meth.
oh,
I'm crazy.
Make it at home. You
It's
got some brake
expensive.
fluid.
Keep it for myself.
Alright. So, on Father's Day,
Hey Patrick, can you read the initial story and then what it was changed to?
that's what I'm trying to find.
Okay.
I couldn't find some of it.
Well, just tell it how you know it. Yeah.
All right. So the initial story that I had found was this man was being pulled over by the cops in Knoxville for like a DUI. There he goes. Hang on. Sorry, my cat's acting crazy
Beat
behind my
that cat.
computer.
Beat it.
Hang on. Give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves.
Beat that cat.
well, as Steve, I was talking about a bum that always has great shit on him.
You'll meet all the bums that have great shit.
I just so happen to also be a bum that has some great shit on him right now. I was given a very special gift last week, and what I have here is a genuine artifact that has been touched by the lips of countless juggalos. I have a crushed 2-liter bottle of Faygo root beer that came from the ICP
It's
show.
draft style too.
It's all crushed up from probably the mosh pit, you know.
It gotta be.
Right.
They
Why
probably
wouldn't
just
it be?
squirted it all over each other, and
How
then
much did you pay for that emblem?
I paid
Just
nothing.
saying.
It's a gift. It was given to me by one of the juggalos.
The flat earther. I know.
No.
How did he just thought to keep that and then give it to you, or you
Yeah,
asked him
he
to-
did.
That is
Isn't
so
that-
thoughtful.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah,
not to
that
tear up
Juggalo
right
show, that ICP show that we didn't go to, we do know somebody that did go,
Oh.
who is a fan of ICP,
But he doesn't consider himself a juggalo, actually.
even though he does the full
He went
clown.
under Juggalo. Oh,
He did the full clown makeup thing.
that's a Juggalo.
That's a Juggalo, whether you identify or not.
But
The
he doesn't
society,
live the life.
Society is gonna call you a gigolo.
That's what society calls a gigolo.
I'm gonna put this proudly on the shelf that I don't have yet, but I will have.
There you go.
With the poop knife, because I'm the one that's in possession of it right now.
Don't do it in front of your landlord, please and thank you.
They'll know. Yeah, your landlord is gonna see that Faygo root beer and know exactly what's coming.
Dealt with those types before.
Because they're going to be a referral when you try to move into a condo that is a little bit more central located. And then that's definitely not what John wants to see on his manifest. Bring things known brought with.
Shit, I don't know if Becca's going to be willing to move further away from the beach.
Across A1A, oh my God, it is a fucking gauntlet.
Like a slum. Slum on the other side.
I've got a pretty good spot. I haven't actually seen it in person, but I know I have a pretty good spot.
Closer to the beach than we are, so fuck you.
Much closer.
And, okay.
You know who else thought that they had a pretty good spot? The dude that died in this article.
All right, yes, continue. Yeah.
Patrick, tell us.
I like that transition.
Tell us the story.
Just as good as Steve-O with the transition.
So there was this dude driving. Cops were going to pull this dude over for DUI. Couldn't stay in his lane. They pull him over. He yells out, "I got to get home to my family," runs off. Cop turns off his car and notices that there is a severed torso in his passenger seat.
Just the torso.
Just the
Knoxville?
top half. Yeah, Knoxville. Top half.
Oh my.
Turns off, they get the dude. They found out at 3:30 in the morning the dude has been drinking like 1,800 tequila, whatever, Jose Cuervo or some shit.
Don't blame it on 1,800, dog.
That's what he said he's been drinking.
Cuervo talk.
Yeah, he was driving on Sutherland and ran into a light pole, but hit this 65-year-old man that was homeless for 3 years. 3 weeks before that, he just got an apartment.
Oh man, now you're bringing all the sad elements into it.
Yeah, kill this old dude. But the original article made it sound like, I can't find it, that this dude had ran this guy over, found what was left of his torso, put it in his car, and was trying to drive back home. I guess they had retracted it.
He was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, because now this new article had came out saying, like, he ran into this dude. The guy got severed, flew through the windshield, like, just perfectly land in the passenger side. Dude
and
was
the dude was so drunk he didn't notice?
Oh, he noticed. He did, because he immediately
put on your
ran.
seatbelt, dog. We're running some red lines.
Yeah, imagine being so drunk that you don't care that there is a fucking half of a body just sitting in your passenger seat.
You just don't want to lose your license for a year.
Did he hit the car? Is the car still operating?
I feel like that's the jump. Which I found out reading up on this dude, he already had another DUI from last year. So this would be his second offense. So yeah,
I think he was
license.
I think he was keeping it for the high efficiency lane for when he gets on the interstate.
I mean,
this ain't Atlanta. This ain't Nashville, baby. It's Knoxville. It's called suck a dick. You want to get in the
didn't know where
it's high occupancy. Yeah. High occupancy vehicle. HOV, right? It's HOV.
But,
that's
HOV.
What it stands for.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't worry, you won't have to live with that on the beach, Becca.
Yeah. That guy did bond out like a day or two ago, but now they're trying to revoke his bond.
Yeah, how do you let that guy out? How do you let him out?
Yeah, so like he got charged with vehicular manslaughter, driving on suspended, DUI, and all that. But they're trying to revoke his bond after he had already bonded out. So
yeah, you said a cop like pulled him over, and then
cop pulled him over.
He must have had a chest full of money.
Well, the dude had ran off. Like he jumped out, said, "I gotta get home to my family." That's what this article I found said.
That's noble, I guess.
So the cop ran up and turned the car off and noticed the torso in the passenger seat. And once they caught him, he's like, "Who's that guy sitting in the seat?" Is what the cop said. But yeah,
And then
some
they went back
crazy
later and found the.
Oh yeah,
bottom
they
half.
went back to Sutherland where
the
he
road.
had severed the dude. They found the other half of his body. After that, this was on Father's Day.
He didn't have a bunch of seashells on him, did he?
I don't know. I didn't see that in that. They might be keeping that for court.
You keep saying the word torso, so both his legs were ripped off, and he just
the bottom half was cut off or severed off from the impact, and the top half.
That's a serious impact. I feel like that ain't no.
He was driving like a Mad Max car or something.
Yeah, that's like Tokyo Gore Police level.
I think I found one article that does have the picture of the car. I'll share it here in just a second. Hang on. Okay.
I want all the details.
Give me just
literally all the gory details.
The gory details.
I won't have the pics of it, but
okay.
Steve-O, the Shaolin from above is not.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. Was it playing?
Now it is, but now.
All right.
This is what you want to see, okay? You don't want to see the fucking shit that Patrick's talking about. Maybe he'll find a picture. He won't because internet is censored, dog.
I found a picture.
It's all censored. It's all for old people. They don't want to see that shit.
Here we go.
Hold on. Let's see what Patrick's
screen. Sharing the screen.
I'm ready. Oh.
Hang on.
Clicking on you.
Can you see that?
How's that video, Steve? No. That is a cool video.
Is it? You guys see it?
No.
No, you're not sharing your screen yet.
I thought I did.
You got to hit it, and then you got to hit another button.
Hit it.
And share it. There we go.
Yeah,
okay.
hit it, and then quit it, dog.
Sharing.
Now we just see. Okay, there we go.
Okay,
so right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude went through that.
Wait, that was the guy's car, and he was still driving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like meat. There's like meat in his tires. That's like when I hit that dog that one time.
Wait, let's blow this up here.
That looks.
Whoa,
brutal.
shit!
Yeah. No shit.
Yep.
That's a Ford Focus too, or a Prius.
Wow.
I think it's a Chevy.
It could be.
Yeah,
or a Dodge.
All the cars kind of have the same.
It could be anything, really. We can't see the front.
It's the Chevy Impala. Is what it is.
I mean, but this thing. So
Wait.
So the cop had to pull him over. Because that looks like
he
this
didn't
car.
Give up.
This
he
car
didn't give up when his wheel wasn't on his car anymore.
Yeah, this is
that what you're telling me?
Does not look drivable.
You got comments on that article? Let's see if anybody else has figured out this bit of a mystery.
Johnson admitted to the sergeant that he was blitzed.
Yes,
what the fuck is that ad on the page too?
What? Unlock special offers today. 3 articles free.
Of course, there's no X or anything. It's just like
no, not that ad. Scroll down some more.
Yeah, that's the guy that did this. That's already out.
So yeah, he hit the
whole beard. I understand him wanting to kill himself.
No, you're not going to see the torso here in Knoxville.
That tire damage and hitting the pole was after he had hit the guy. That's why it looks like that.
Right.
That happened after the fact.
But he was pulled over.
I think he wrecked. He wrecked, and then
someone came up on
him.
Yeah,
I think that's
see. Okay. There's so many different articles that say different stuff about this.
Because all the news companies they're all like, oh shit, something happened. Something happened. Oh, get something out. I don't care what it says. Just put it out.
Yeah.
If that damage happened after he hit the guy, he would have had to have hit that guy so fucking hard for the top half of him to fly directly through his windshield.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes sense is that he hit a pole and the guy was already standing there or something.
Yeah.
So no, the guy was in his car. Then he hit the pole.
Yeah. So a lot of this has changed in the past few days. I can't find the original article because the original article was making it sound like he had hit this dude. Guy got severed and pretty much picked up what he could find and put it in his car and was driving back home. So now it had changed to he ran into this guy. Top half of this dude flew through his windshield and was driving home.
Which definitely looks like what happened. It looks like something flew through that windshield, but I don't believe the driving part.
There is the video. You can see it. I saw a video once of a guy on a motorcycle speeding at night, and hitting a deer right in the center, and both halves of the deer cutting in half and flying that way. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I think
not
I've seen
far
that.
fetched.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not. But you definitely got to be going fucking fast for that, right? Like how fast? 60?
50?
40,
yeah, I don't
40,
think
50?
it takes that much, man.
66.8 miles an hour.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
feel
Dave.
like Dave's approximation is pretty close to what it takes to sever parts.
Approximation.
Dave, do you have something you want to share to the class? Do you have a Johnny story you'd like to tell us?
Nope.
Ever in
Sure.
Stories or anything?
But I have an article. I mean, I just didn't send it to Steve-O.
That's okay.
I've been
What's that,
hanging
Dave?
around. YouTube star gave toothpaste-filled Oreo to homeless man, gets
Oh,
15-month jail sentence.
I read about that. Fuck him, dude.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Is, that is cruel. But why such a harsh sentence?
Because
eating-
fuck him. Yeah, it's
Well,
not in this country, so that's why they can say fuck him.
Oh,
Well,
where was it?
Toothpaste. I mean, toothpaste isn't good for you, but
It's not that bad for you.
You got the fluoride, dog. It's blocking your
Yeah.
pineal gland, man. Open your third eye, dog.
All right.
Yeah.
A Spanish YouTube star who pranked a homeless man by filling an Oreo cookie with toothpaste was sentenced on Friday to 15 months in prison and now owes $22,300 to
the
his
homeless man?
victims.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
Good.
That's cool. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
A Barcelona judge also ordered that Kong Yu Ren's YouTube and other social media accounts be shut down for 5 years.
Suck a dick. Kong Yu Ren.
Poop
The
Knife
20-year-old
Poop
Ren,
Knife says, "Really, when was the last time he brushed?" Maybe
he was helping the guy
doing him
out.
a favor.
Yeah.
He didn't have a toothbrush, so he just put it in an Oreo. The Oreo is gonna mix around and kind of.
It's like giving a dog his medicine by stuffing it in the biscuit.
There you go.
That's rude, man. I don't agree.
So the 20-year-old Ren, who goes by Reset on the video sharing website, was born in China but has lived in Barcelona for most of his life.
Oh, he wasn't a native Barcelonan? That's weird. Go
He
on.
is unlikely to
Even
serve.
more reason to say fuck you.
He is unlikely to serve any jail time because Spanish law typically waives prison sentences for first-time offenders who commit nonviolent crimes.
Oh.
So, Ren posted a sensitivity video to his YouTube channel in January 2017 in which he's seen filling Oreo cookies with toothpaste and repacking them as a prank to impress his 1.2 million followers. The prank took a turn for the worse when he handed the cookie along with 20 euros to a homeless man identified as George L., who proceeded to eat them and vomited afterward.
What?
Oh.
He's got the fluoride in him, man. Fuck that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Fuck
brutal.
old Kong Yu Ren.
So, dude paid him to eat Oreos.
20 euros. Yeah,
and he
that's
gets
30
15
bucks.
months in jail.
I mean, no
seems
shit.
Weird.
It gets better. It gets better. In the video, Ren can be heard contemplating whether he has gone too far with the prank. And then in quotes, but look, at the positive side, this will help clean his teeth. He
Yeah.
said, I think
yeah,
he,
no, I'm happy he's
I
had
think
his
he
life ruined
hasn't
for 5
cleaned
years.
them since he became poor. God damn, what a douche. The Barcelona court didn't see the humor and found Ren guilty of violating the moral integrity of the homeless man.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Moral integrity, yeah.
Okay, if you when you label it like that, I like it. If that's the charge, I mean, I
Fuck
guess
that dude, man. What are you talking about?
Well, there's a thing called
Verbal assault, baby.
There's a thing called cruel and unusual punishment, and I think that the punishment should fit the crime. And so initially, I'm like, well, 15 months in jail, that's an awful long time for a prank. But
that's a lot.
You
yeah.
are, I mean, I think you should
Well,
be
he's
taught
not-
a lesson. You should.
He's not likely going to serve it. Well, they shut down his shit for 5 years, which is his income.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Yeah. No. Fuck you.
But George L., a native of Romania who fled his country. I mean, the sob story here is amazing. George L., a native of Romania who fled his country to escape the communist dictatorship and was later hospitalized in a mental institution, said he had never been treated so poorly while living on the street. According to a report by the El Paz newspaper, after the video got negative feedback from his followers, Ren attempted to make amends by filming a subsequent video where he visits the homeless man again and offers him 20 more euros. Ren made a third visit after that, offering the man's daughter 300 euros to prevent her from filing a lawsuit, according to Spanish police.
So is that called a bribe? I don't know. I'm stupid. I don't know these things.
It could be. It could be considered settling out of court, but it ain't enough. You know.
Well, to finish it up, just one last paragraph. The YouTuber taked in bad grammar. $2,475 from advertisers for the Oreo prank videos alone.
Wait, how much? Say it again.
$2,475.
Wow.
Is that U.S. dollars or fucking?
Well, it has
they're
the dollar
roughly
symbol and not the euro symbol.
So subtract 1/3 from it. Got you. And that's
well, I'm judging it by the symbol not being the euro symbol; it's actual dollar.
Put the symbol in chat, dog.
So, a fact that the judge Rosa Aragones said showed this was not an isolated act, as he has posted other videos displaying cruel behaviors towards easy or vulnerable victims in the past. Ren defends his video to the court, saying, "I do things to mount a show. People like what is morbid." And that is it.
I mean, that's kind of where we are right now, right? I have a hard time describing what our podcast is to people that want to listen to it.
Oh.
How should I describe the podcast, guys?
Well, maybe that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
I think it's different for
sometimes we randomly change the subject in the middle of stuff.
I mean, Poop Night says with a Seinfeld of podcasts.
Yeah, you could say Brad Be Living. You could say that. You could say Seinfeld of podcasts.
So I do
say all those.
I definitely think that treating people without dignity, not showing just a human being dignity should be punished severely. And I like the name of that charge, whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
that's like war crime shit.
It's not war crime
so.
shit. It's not that. Feeding a guy an Oreo cookie with toothpaste in it, it's not war crime shit.
Yeah, it's not.
It's douchey. It's douchey.
Not.
It's not war crime.
The Jews would wish that they had that happen to them.
Hey, if you're gonna speed on the road, that's the same as killing somebody. In my book.
With that shitty evidence, I guess I have to change my opinion, but it's still like you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want as long as it does not affect anybody else. And that's I guess that's just the rule I've lived by. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want. As soon as I realize it affects somebody else, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop. But if it doesn't affect anybody else, I'm going to fucking do it. Whatever's destructive or societally destructive.
I agree. And I think that there should be punishments for severe deviations from that. I mean, you're not going to treat every person you come in contact with dignity and respect. If someone's an asshole or you're just having a shitty day.
There's a whole lot of people that don't deserve respect.
Give them enough rope to hang themselves, and as soon as they use up that rope, well, then you know where to place them in your box of morals
and rope. Yeah, I agree. I think you should be punished, for stuff like that.
Man, that's sad. That story reminds me of two stories. They're both Florida man stories. One story was there was a woman in Central Florida going out and stomping on sea turtles' nests for one reason or another, and she didn't like them.
It's like war crime shit.
Yeah, no, fuck her. Fuck her. You're gonna stomp on the sea turtles.
Give her life.
You need to die.
Gulag. Galapagos Gulag for that bitch.
Yeah. You go to Leper Island, but we're not going to tell you it's a Leper Island. That's where I'm like, cruel and unusual punishment. The other story was somebody got
into a car accident together, and dude's driving one car, lady with child driving the other car, get in a wreck. Lady has seizure, and the dude's response, you know, a lot of people are thinking, hey, let's call 911, you know. She has an aneurysm, and the dude's first thought is, hey, I'm going to take this lady with me, and I'm going to rape her, and she has a child in the car. Yeah. That's a horrible person. Yeah. The dude got into a car wreck with a woman and her child, and she had a stroke or a brain aneurysm, if you're nasty. And the dude was like, hey, you know what? This seems like a great opportunity to take this woman away from the scene and do what I want with her because she don't know.
Good
and
Lord.
Then all of a sudden he is faced in front of a court, and I feel bad for the public defendant that has to defend him because he ain't got no fucking money.
We laugh at 65-year-old men being cut in half by cars, but that's just too much.
It is.
Welcome to Florida, Becca. You're coming here soon.
I have a
Lisa signed.
I actually found an article that that goes very well with that.
Oh wait, I told
good.
people about this at work. This is
yeah.
great.
Oh yeah. No, you sent it to me.
Let me tell you, who wants to have bets on the number of pool floats this gentleman had?
Number of pool floats?
Wait.
Read the article.
Steve-O, go ahead.
Read the headline.
Man.
Steve-O,
Read
take
the
it
article. Hold on,
Take us
Brad.
away.
Brad, hold
I'm
on.
just
Let
dying
Steve-O
to.
do it. Go ahead, Steve-O.
Florida man says he steals pool floats for sex instead of raping women.
Oh, I've seen this article. Good for him. Good for him.
Well, then you
That's
don't get
an
to
honorable
bet.
man.
Thanks,
Noble.
thanks
So
for
he's
being
noble.
honorable, and you don't get to bet.
And
How
wait,
many pool floats?
you need to see this guy's face before you.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
this is the face. This is the face of a Florida man. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
See him? That's a fucking
Yeah.
Florida man right there.
That anime.
Steely-eyed Florida man.
It looks like Sean Penn's half brother.
Disrespectful mustache.
disrespectful mustache. He ain't even got a curl at the end. All right.
I'm gonna say he has 222 pool floats. That's my guess.
So what is he?
All right.
He's fucking
Hold
the pool
on, I got a
floats?
piece of paper. I can write that down. Guys, write down your pool floats. Let's make a thing.
Sounds like he's been doing this a long
200.
time.
How many, Becca?
222.
Got-
5,000.
Before I scroll too
Write it
far,
down, Brad.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Nathan. Guess a little lower.
And he guesses in the
5,000.
chat.
I'm gonna do 521.
163.
Might as well do 420. What's the
I'll
difference?
just write you in for 420, and yeah. All right, Steve-O.
Well, I don't know where it is in the article, but
The bets are placed, so you'll find it.
Poop Knife says 69.
Nice.
Boys, poop knife.
Poop knife is
wrong,
the
Poop
closest
Knife.
one.
I'm not
I
writing
don't-
that
there
down
it
because
is.
you're wrong.
I don't expect anything less from Poop Knife.
Well, Poop Knife is, according to Price is Right rules and probably any other rules, Poop Knife is the winner. It had a stash of about 75 pool floats that he had stolen instead of raping. See, what we
It was honorable.
cannot miss that he wanted to rape, but instead he satisfied his urge by stealing a pool float.
So he
He's
could
an
have
honorable
raped
man.
75
Fucking
times.
raping the Simpsons donut pool float that I've seen floating in our fucking pool.
I just love this picture of him with the fucking pool floats behind him.
I knew y'all liked
Oh
that.
my god.
Right.
So wait,
Those are
let me be,
victims.
Let
Oh,
me
and
be
it's
clear.
Brevard County too, because
Guys.
Oh
it's
yeah,
Brevard
no,
County.
Steve-O. Hey Becca, guess where you're living?
Well,
Is
at least
he-
people are raping the pool floats instead of the women.
That's right.
Hold on. That's what I want to know. Is he stealing them, or is he stealing and raping the pool float?
Both.
Or
He's
is he just
stealing its
raping them?
innocence.
I mean,
All right, here we go.
both.
Articles
It fits
say
into
that.
Yeah,
what you
it's a short article. Okay, Florida man suspected of multiple pool floats thefts told police that he has sex with the inflatables instead of raping women.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Hey,
that answers
Steve,
your
click
question.
on the Steve.
Okay.
Click on the Florida woman squeezes man's testicles so hard they bleed. I think I know
Oh,
that girl.
I've seen that.
Go ahead. You're close. Click it. There you go. Oh no!
Sorry,
Oh,
listeners.
no.
This is all to satisfy Brad's desire of wanting to know a fugitive.
Sometimes
What's
on
the-
verbal assault, that's all we can do is satisfy Brad's desire.
Yeah.
It just happens.
That's what you got to look forward to.
I'm
Becca.
sorry, guys. You know what? Sometimes it happens, and a lot of times it doesn't. But sometimes it does. Scroll down, Steve-O. Scroll down.
We always ask that it doesn't happen again, but it always happens again.
Indian Harbor. All right. Thank God. All right.
All right.
So it's not the one.
Okay, so you're satisfied. Okay. All right, so back to what we were talking about. Past 7 months, the city of Palm Bay has been plagued with burglaries in which a suspect cuts the screen or otherwise enters a victim's back pool deck area and steals only pool floats. Several victims told the police that they had been burglarized several times by this person, but only reported them on the second or third burglary of their floats. I mean, yeah. Pool float goes missing. The wind probably blew it away, right?
First time, yeah, you're like, it couldn't be a guy stealing them to have sex with
Fuck
them.
him. He's not fucking.
It's
my
not a
pool
Florida
float.
thing. It's not like your
So
public pool.
he went back multiple times to the same people. Is that what you're saying?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
most of the people they said only reported on the second or third time.
They just would figure it blew away or something until they caught him on camera.
So several
Like
victims.
things fucking blow away. Like that's just.
Several victims told police that they had been burglarized several times by this person, but only reported them on the second or third. Oh, I already read that. Around 1:30 a.m. on Thursday, June 13th of this year, Palm Bay police stopped a 35-year-old Christopher William Monin on his bicycle for being a suspicious person.
What?
He's riding on his bicycle and he has like 3 floats.
And he's nowhere near water.
He's weaving. He's not using his hands, so he's driving. He looks like
There's
this.
just cum just dripping off the pole float.
Come and he's got inflatable flamingos and donuts,
Alligators
and
and killer whales.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Monin had with him a white garbage bag full of what he identified to police as deflated pool floats. The Florida man admitted to police that he has burglarized several houses to steal pool floats and then led police to a vacant house where A had a stash of 75 pool floats. Monin explained to police that he sexually gratifies himself with the floats and does this instead of raping women. There it is again.
Just let
I'm
that
a good
part off.
guy.
He was
Nathan.
arrested and charged with burglary of an occupied dwelling and petite theft.
Nathan, do you want to do like a short film about this guy?
There you go.
Just getting the idea of just raping these pool floats.
And you
Yeah.
get to
And just
you get to say it was based on a true story.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like him. I like the fact that he decided to lead the police back to his lair and show them his collection.
He's proud.
Yeah.
He's like, I want you to see my treasures,
He's
my lovelies. Can
He's
I show
proud
you
of
my
the-
lovelies?
Oh, sorry, I'm getting a boner right now.
he's proud of the good moral decision he's made to fuck them instead of the women.
That's probably
Yeah,
true.
he's showing off.
How many
yeah.
lives did he save by stealing those pool floats? That's why he was showing them so that he could get a little leniency.
And I mean, it's impressive that he snuck into that many backyards without being detected.
And 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
even each.
That's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. I'm
Metal
just
Gear
glad that
Solid of raping pool floats.
I don't know. Sounds like a war crime to me.
I feel like
You'd be
what
surprised what's considered war crimes these days.
touche.
What kind of pool float would be the best to fuck? What do you think? I mean, it has
I
to
don't
be
know.
the
I have the
child
Metal Gear
floaties.
Solid music in my head right now. I can't make that decision.
It has to be
It's
the
just
kid,
sad.
the child arm floats because they're
That's
they're
it.
small enough.
There you
know?
go. You got it. You win.
It has to be those.
It has to be.
It's
Water
the Japanese
wings.
pool floats
You mean
with the
water
arm
wings?
around
That's it.
you.
That's just wrong. It's just
Ugh.
wrong.
Why are they just floating out in the pool by themselves like that? It's weird.
Because you're laying on the beach. You live on the beach, baby.
You just
I'm
leave
saying
him.
the kids
Much
need
how
the water
Becca will be
wings,
living
yeah.
on the beach soon.
I am
You know, kids, man, they just rip those water wings off and leave them laying around anywhere. You know,
I don't need this shit. You know how you felt when your parents are like, "Oh, I'm gonna teach you how to swim," and you're like, "Bitch, I know how to swim."
and that's probably what he went for the first time. You know, like because they're just laying around out there somewhere, and that's the thing that the parents are going to be like, "Oh, those things are tiny; they just blow away." You know, that's why they never called it in the first couple times.
Yeah, that's right. They never told the kids the vinyl villain.
No. I really should be a detective. I'm gonna be a detective when I get done.
It's gonna be a lot harder after you move to Florida to be a detective.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
So?
Motives aren't gonna make a lot of sense. We're gonna have to tell them about you on the podcast, and all of a sudden, Dave's gonna have to die from autoerotic asphyxiation.
Okay.
In order for you to become a detective, that has to happen.
I'm willing to make sacrifices.
All these things have been foretold.
Dave, the ice cube was in your throat. I don't know what to tell you.
Becca,
Yes.
please tell me a poem. I
No
wanna hear a
way.
poem.
We didn't even talk about the UFO shit that you told us to listen to that I spent
didn't
all
even-
day listening to.
I didn't even talk about burning the flag, but it's getting late and I don't want to talk about it.
We're on fire.
Can I talk about?
We're
one
at
funny
an
thing?
hour and a half, y'all.
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Listen, I
storming
have
here.
I have an internal clock that is well tuned.
Well tuned.
It's great. It's on point. We ain't done talking.
And this has gone off the rails. Yeah, I agree.
Nathan, why'd you leave us again?
Huh?
What?
Leave you?
Like
What are you talking about?
You left us to our own devices on the other podcast. And,
Well, that was because
this was out of his control.
Connection.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll do a poem. I'm missing a sentence, but I have a really quick, really short, funny thing based on
go ahead.
One thing that you said earlier in this episode, which was my DNA speaks like that. Do you remember when you said that? It reminded me of this post I saw on Facebook, and it is, if your cum was flavored based on the state you're from, what would it taste like? And
What?
that's how your DNA talks. So you
sweet corn, boom.
Biscuits and gravy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oranges.
Okay. Patrick.
Huh?
What?
Oh, I didn't realize.
What's
you
your
were
cum
asking
taste like,
us.
Patrick?
I have no idea. I've never
Tell the people.
tasted it.
What do you think it tastes like?
Cookies and cream. I don't know.
Seawater, and it gets you fucked up and makes you think you.
What?
Yeah, seawater.
Where's my
Makes
air
you
horn?
feel like God.
Seawater, yeah, it makes you think things that you shouldn't think. You ever heard what happens to you when you drink seawater? It's not good.
It's great. No, try it sometime. Fuck it. Get these
so good.
motherfuckers on the beach.
I guess mine would be salt. Sand.
Salt?
Sand.
Sand.
Salt,
They said
sand.
sand.
It's not what
Not yet.
You know, never mind.
That's where I'm from. Florida.
Oh yeah.
Well, I went with the state I've currently been in a very long time. I went biscuits and gravy.
And I said orange because of the Vols.
I went with cookies and cream because that's my favorite ice cream.
That's not what you were supposed to base it on.
How much
doesn't
ice cream
matter.
are
I
you
have
eating,
no
dog?
idea. I have no idea because I wasn't paying attention to the question.
Do you have a
Based
job
on-
at Baskin Robbins that you're not telling us about?
He was born in a Baskin Robbins.
I was born in a basket in Baskin Robbins.
All right,
Moses sent
so
me there.
I pressed it. I accidentally. It works.
this poem is called "Tell It How You Know It." The joke is, whether you try to steal from me or not, I've never been bothered by it. When you finally hear that, I'll pay you for your goodbye, and we'll leave it at that. I guess you gotta dig deep to find something that vaguely resembles punishment, but what you got back doesn't look too valuable to me.
Mm.
When's your book coming out?
Seriously.
It's an audiobook currently. You just have to listen to a lot of other things before you get through it.
You gotta get through a bunch of bullshit before you can hear the good stuff.
If I go through all the fucking podcasts and pick out the fucking poems, can I get a cut?
We did not listen to these voicemails.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we got voicemails. Fucking finally.
Save them for next week.
All right, we're gonna save
next week.
Next week.
Sorry, y'all.
It's over.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Hey, support us on Patreon. You can
865-316-6955. I said it right. Fuck you.
You did.
Dave.
They'll chug on your whiskey.
Deuces.